Our guest today is Brat Keefa. He is currently the president of the Full Gospel Church of Uzbekistan. I'm speaking to him live via Zoom along with our translator, Donald Marsden. Brat Keefa, thank you for joining us today. Please describe the landscape of faith in Uzbekistan.
У нас примерно
About 97% of our people are Muslims.
мусульмане, примерно 0,01
Approximately 1/10 of 1% are evangelical Christian.
Поэтому
So at the
примерно
most, we
где-то
have
около
20,000
10-15,
evangelical
может быть,
Christian believers
максимум
in
20 тысяч
Uzbekistan
это
out of 34
евангельские.
million population.
Brat Keefa, how did you come to your faith?
Я уверовал
I came to faith in 1991.
до этого
Until
я
then,
был
I
просто
was an atheist. I grew up in an atheistic family and never thought about God until that time. But I was involved in athletics. I was doing Taekwondo, and my Taekwondo trainer told me about Jesus. And he invited me to his church, and I went, and together we watched the Jesus film. So when I saw Jesus crucified on the cross, I began to cry just very, very deeply, and I was crushed. And he said, I consider that to be the moment of my repentance.
Could you tell us some of the ways you have seen God working through the pandemic?
This time of the pandemic has really caused us to change our perspective on what's happening around us. We've been preaching the gospel, we've been planting churches for a long time, but during this pandemic, we've taken it to be kind of a call to just step up our efforts, and we've been doing it with more passion and more conviction because we sense that the Lord is in it. The Lord is calling us. On the other hand, we had a lot of limitations on us. For the first several weeks, we just had to sit at home. We experienced how many limitations are on. People had to sit in isolation at home. So we had to overcome some of these obstacles that were holding us back. So we started to pray, and we have spent a lot of time in prayer. So far, we've motivated about 150 churches to pray with us. They're praying, they're fasting, we're in prayer together. So many poor people lost their work during this pandemic. They have no money, and they're just at home with nothing to do. And it's given us a fantastic opportunity to speak with them, to build relationships with them. We realize that it's our duty to share what we have, to go to people who are in need and bring them food. And as we do that, we share the gospel with them. And people have been so open because they see that we come to them with love. They've opened their hearts, they've opened their homes to us. We've distributed more than 1,000 containers of food, and we've seen many people come to the Lord, and even people being baptized. And through this, during the coronavirus, we've started 50 new fellowship groups. We thank God for this time because He's made this a very effective period in time for us.
Brat Keefa, how can we be praying for you?
The best prayer for us is that God would allow us to continue and for the things that have started during this pandemic to grow stronger.
Brat Keefa, I thank you for your encouraging story today. We will continue to keep you and your family in our prayers.